An Iran deal could be getting close, and the implications will shock the market. Bitcoin's ready. The stock market is prepared. Metals are rallying once again. Everybody's getting prepared for what if a deal happens. But the Iranians are a bit slow to the table here, and I'll tell you why in this video. We got a lot to discuss. Let's get it. We're talking Bitcoin, we're talking Circle, we got stocks, we got crypto, we got charts, we got macro. It's all good. Let's go. Trump said we are negotiating with Iran. Marco and JD are involved. There's been some reports that Marco and JD could be heading to Pakistan to meet with some kind of Iranian leadership. Okay, now I saw in the comment section yesterday, people are like, Lark, shut up. This is not real. Nothing's real is happening. It's all bullshit. Look, we're reporting the news as we get it coming in, okay? And we've had confirmations from some people in Iran that something is happening, some kind of conversations are happening. But then you have the Iranian Revolutionary Guard being like, we will never negotiate with the Americans. Bah. So, look, it's a complicated situation. It would be, I think, unwise to believe that there are no back channels of communication at all going on. Of course there are. The question is what kind of actual negotiations are going to start happening. Anyway, Trump says they will make a deal. Iran has already agreed to us that they will never develop a nuclear weapon. Okay? Iranian officials have told Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey that U.S. military movements have increased their suspicion that Trump's proposal for peace talks is just a ruse. Now, why would they think that? It's not like Trump previously negotiated a peace deal, agreed to a peace deal, and the next day murdered the entire leadership of the country. Turns out when you do that, they're suspicious about new peace talks, right? Of course, we have Marines inbound to the Middle East arriving Friday, just in time for Friday market close and for Trump to turn up the heat once again, do some crazy shit, and let the markets have 48 hours to absorb. This dude is like mega concerned about markets, by the way, which is why I think that he'll be looking for some kind of off-ramp in the not-so-distant future to this whole debacle, okay? Oh, boy. Officials say another 2 to 3 weeks of war is planned, even if talks take place. You have to understand, war is not an end of politics. War is a part of politics, a continuation of politics. Okay, what this war so far has proven is that the Iranians are not bluffing when they say they can shut down the strait, that the Americans are not bluffing when they say they will blow your shit up. Just a continuation of politics, guys. Iran says Trump's peace talks may be a trick again. Yep, wouldn't be surprised. Washington has led its 15-point plan to end the Iran war is nothing more than a blueprint for the total subjugation of the Iranian state and its leadership. Now look, this is negotiating. One side comes in with completely crazy demands. The other side comes in with completely crazy demands, right? Like Iran's demanding reparations for the damage done. Well, that's never going to happen, man. America's demanding all kinds of crazy shit too. That's how negotiation starts. You start off on the extreme opposites and you try to find middle ground and make a deal, okay? The implications of a deal will be massive. Monday market open, another historic peace deal. Another historic peace deal, maybe the biggest ever. Friday market closed, death to the until it'll blow your shit up for real. Oh, it's funny because it's like what's really been happening. Price of oil is telling you a story right now, okay? The price of oil currently is telling us that de-escalation could be coming. Now, obviously, it's incredibly responsive to any sorts of news out of Iran, news out of the Middle East, tweets from Trump, all that kind of stuff. We can see we had that $15 dip yesterday after news came out that, well, peace talks could be going on. Negotiations could be underway. Interesting. Anyway, price of a barrel of Brent crude oil under $100 currently. Kuwait Petroleum CEO, full production restoration would take 3 to 4 months even if the war ended today. Well, that's the thing to keep in mind. Even if the war ended today, there's been massive disruption in the markets. Qatar's LNG facilities, 17% of the LNG globally is now offline because of damage to that facility. And it'll take years to repair. Okay? Things don't just immediately start back. It's like an engine, man. You got to yank the chain a few times, get it running, let it warm up a little bit. Then we'll be back to full production. It'll take some time. But even if it does take time to get back to reality, the thing is that markets would start pricing in the future versus what happens over the next couple of months. So economic disruption will be short-lived. SPX futures today up 0.8%. Now, that would put the open right up and around this green arrow here. So back above the 200-day EMA. Let's see what happens. Very interesting spot for the S&P 500 to be in. Of course, that is the barometer of health for all markets everywhere. I got stopped out of my Pepe and my Solana long yesterday, again, for break even, so who cares? It's fine. I'll look for the next trade here soon. If you want to join me trading over on BitUnix, there's a link down below. When you join using that link, you'll get some sweet exclusive deposit bonuses. Put in $1,000, you're gonna get $200 back. Put in $2,000, you're gonna get $400 back. Like, these are insane deposit bonuses. You only have a few more days to take advantage of these particular deals. And of course, BitUnix is one of the hottest exchanges in crypto right now. It's where I'm doing the majority of my futures trading. So when I want to go long, go short on any of the coins, this is where I'm doing it. You can join me. Link down below. It's available to anyone, anywhere, which is you. Thank you very much. So, Kalshi traders, 40% chance Bitcoin hits $100,000 this year. I'll take it. Could be worse. Bitcoin's still in the channel, not much to report. Just a reminder, go long at the break of 76K, go short on the breakdown of 66K. We are in the middle. We are in no man's land of the channel. There's no trade here on Bitcoin right now in my mind, okay? Solana, relatively similar situation. We have this big rising wedge that's been forming up. Really needs to break to the upside for the bulls here. Downside break brings us back down to retest the wick lows of February 6th, which would be a pretty brutal result, to be honest. Hype. You know, I stopped looking at this chart the last couple days after I got stopped out around here. I should have paid more attention. Should have put in a limit long, to be honest. But anyway, I did not do that. We had a perfect 20-day EMA retest. Beautiful move. Beautiful move on hype here. Fantastic. Absolutely love to see it. Just textbook. Okay, so far on this move, we've had initial breakout, 20-day EMA retest. Okay, big move higher. 20-day EMA retest. Now you want to see it push higher and get beyond $43. Okay, that's the next key test. Otherwise, this could start to then establish itself as a new downtrend. So momentum's got to kick up here and keep moving higher for hype. But likely, that is just a classic, beautiful 20-day EMA retest. Of course, during any uptrend for an asset, you'll get multiple of those situations happen where it's always a great time to re-enter a long position, go long, and ride the wave up until, of course, you start failing to hold above the 20-day EMA. Silver, man, this thing's been volatile. Went down 50% since the peak back here, and people are literally lining up in shops in Hong Kong and Sydney to buy physical silver at disgusting premiums. You know, buying physical silver is nuts, man. Unless you're buying like 1 kg or 10 kg bars or something like that. If you're buying like silver coins, it's hard to find a much worse investment than that in the market, to be honest. Because the premiums are just so high. Like if you're buying one now for like, okay, the spot price of silver is $72. I mean, good luck finding a silver coin for $80 or less. Right? So you got to pay a big premium, sometimes more. I was looking yesterday at some different silver bullion dealers, and prices for individual silver coins were way above market. But that's the business. That's always been the case. When prices are more subdued, you'll see perhaps more acceptable numbers in terms of the premium. But anyway, rambling on here. Silver remains in a downtrend. Okay, for silver bulls to get excited again, you need a weekly close above $80. Weekly MACD showing a downtrend continuing. We had massively overbought weekly RSI here. Chances are that a downtrend will continue here unless we can break 80 definitively. If that is the case, 200-day, 200-week EMAs, it's $38. Key price support in this $25 to $30 range. It'll probably be a great spot to restack silver if you are a silver bull. We got to talk about Circle, man. So, Alana posted this. Company that makes money on treasury yields and faces constant questions around whether that take rate can persist falls nearly 20% on news that it may now have a regulatory moat that helps it keep the yield. This is in response to the Clarity Act. So, Clarity Act provisions gone through that basically people cannot earn interest on their stable coins because banks, you know, like JP Morgan and stuff are just like that, corrects their business model and they cannot have that shit happening. Thank gosh we have on-chain realities where you can just take that USDC and put it in a DeFi protocol somewhere and earn that sweet, sweet ching-a-ching yield, right? Anyway, here's the deal. Markets do not like that. Markets not like that at all. Also, we had a Tether audit yesterday, one of the big four accounting firms, like the first audit that Tether's ever had from a big four accounting firm, literally ever, is happening, which makes people think that perhaps Tether is preparing for an IPO. If Tether does an IPO, holy cow, their business is insane. They own so much Bitcoin, they own so much gold, they've invested in all these early stage startups. Like Tether would be a company to own, man, which of course puts more pressure on Circle. Dropped 23% yesterday. Pre-market's showing it with a bounce here up at 105. Question will be whether this is just a big old fat retest of the 50-day EMA or if a deeper downtrend is going to start in play here, and you might get some nice chances to buy it in sort of this, let's say, $75 to $90 range in the next couple weeks. Watching. Keep an eye on this. Hey, in case you are feeling bearish on the stock market right now, let me share this insane story with you. Check this out. Fundrise Growth Tech Fund, VCX, okay? This came out, started trading at around $34. Now, this is a fund that holds Anthropic, OpenAI, SpaceX, Databricks, and Anduril, and I think a couple other companies too. Here's the deal. So the assets under management are worth $19 per share, okay, according to pre-market valuations for these companies, right? This has gone up 1,500% in the last 5 days. People literally were paying $312 per share in order to own $19 per share of these AI companies. It's 15x over. That's crazy. People just love being exit liquidity. They can't stop themselves. That's insane. You know, the implied market cap for Anthropic, as an example on this situation, their last fundraising round came in at $600 billion. So obviously they'll try to IPO a bit higher than that. But okay, $600 billion was their last valuation round. This fund values them at like $5 trillion or something like that. Literally going to be one of the biggest companies on the planet. I'm not buying it, man. I mean, I love using Claude, don't get me wrong, but geez Louise, people are crazy, man. This is just people just lining up around the corner to be exit liquidity for VCs again. I don't get it. Anyway, yeah, here's an interesting point by Amit, though. He said, I get people want exposure to these private names, but you can buy Amazon, a real business, get 15% exposure to Anthropic. Yes, interesting. I own Amazon. I might buy some more Amazon in the not so distant future. Not because of this, but because Amazon's a good company and is doing cool stuff. Anyway, Amazon currently trading under the key weekly EMAs, the 20 and the 50, had a bearish underside retest here 3 weeks ago and has been failing to gain higher momentum, which of course then increased the risks of a 200-week EMA retest of around $180 per share. Get back over 220 and it's probably off to the races for this bad boy. Tesla. This is weekly again. Pre-market showing a slight bump up. Let's just put it on the daily. You can see that there. Daily, we're under the 200-day. Strong downtrend in play here for Tesla, okay? If we can break out solidly above that orange line, we might have a starting point, okay? But it has been very much respecting the downtrend and staying under our orange line, which we drew weeks ago, by the way. And it's been just maintaining that downtrend, hasn't it? Watch for 340. I'll probably load up a bit of bags there. And like I said, on the 200 week, let's put it here. The 200 week down here, 290, will be an interesting opportunity if Tesla goes down there. I mean, just think about it, man. Tesla Optimus robots. They got the robo-taxis. Definitely a company that I think is worth owning. For me personally, not advice for you guys, of course. Meta breaking down out of this huge triangle here is not fantastic. Increases risks of a 200-week EMA retest around $500. RSI downtrend remains solidly in effect. Trading under the key EMAs, looking relatively bearish until we can recover at least the 20-week, which is around $640. We did have an attempted breakout here a few weeks ago, but that failed, unfortunately, and now here we are. Of course, trading below this triangle line here. Now, the implied move for this is like $200 down. So it'd actually say we're going down to like $400, but I'm not sure if that's maybe overly bearish unless something really bad happens. But it would line up with this price resistance back here, fascinatingly enough. But $500 might be an interesting value spot to get it. But if it does start trading under the 200 week, then yeah, $400 is probably not off the table. So we'll see here. We'll see here. Again, I think it's really worth reiterating and repeating the idea that if we see significant de-escalation and a ceasefire and some kind of new grand bargain on Iran, markets will rip. And although these charts look pretty bearish right now, they could easily pop back and rip higher. I'd be interested in buying at lower prices though, personally. Guys, if we're not in the inner circle yet, you got to get in the inner circle. What are you doing with yourselves? Come join us. We'd love to see you in there. This group is absolutely insane. I'm so proud of what we built over here at the inner circle. This is an insane community for investors and for traders. Okay, so we got an in-house trading team that's sharing long and short positions on metals, stocks, and crypto. Of course, crypto, right? We got a trading signal bot. We've got an AI bot that helps you examine different crypto coins. All you have to do is put the name in and it'll give you the lowdown on it, social sentiment, activity, if it's a scam or not, all that kind of stuff. You'll get our trading course. You're going to get weekly altcoin reports, weekly stock reports, and much, much more. Any of these single features is worth the $50 a month that we're charging for this group. It's absolutely insane. We cannot keep the prices like this forever. Let's just consider it the bear market bargain right now, because once things heat back up, we're going to have to increase the price of this group because these tools are insane. And once you come in and tested them out, you'll understand what we're talking about. And you even get a 7-day free trial. So link down below, get your 7-day free trial, test it out, give us a test drive, let us know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you back in the next one. Peace.